Hello, my name is Marco, and today I'm going to be talking about why Harry Potter is better than Marvel. Recently, I've been rewatching some of the Harry Potter movies, and I've been trying to think to myself what I've always known and thought, why the Harry Potter movies are better than the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I'm not going to be going through the specific movies at all. I just want to talk about two specific points as to why I think this. And the first kind of leads into the other. The first is that the Harry Potter movies just take themselves more seriously, and I see this as an objective benefit to the franchise. Now, one reason for this is that when there are kind of weaker elements to some of the movies, like elements of the story being rushed, like in the fifth one where we're introduced to Hagrid's half-brother and he's vital to the plot just half an hour later. Even though that may seem kind of strange or fast to us, the characters all seem very invested and they are recognizing that they're in a dire situation. They all care, and so it strings us along for the ride. It kind of helps us bridge that gap, even if the quality isn't there in some pieces. But in Marvel, the movies don't take themselves seriously at all. All the characters make these kind of self-referential jokes, and when the story elements aren't there and it's kind of a weaker part of the movie, you just kind of get a little bit lost and you stop caring because it's kind of obvious that the characters don't really care either. Now, one reason why taking your franchise seriously is super important is that it lends to a lot of depth that can be very difficult to create in these fantasy franchises. Marvel movies really don't have any depth for the most part, except for maybe Civil War, in my opinion, because they kind of fake try to give you that emotional attachment to the story and characters, and you kind of know it's fake and you're just strung along for the ride. And that wouldn't really be a problem if kind of people didn't put these movies on a pedestal, if they didn't garner so much attention and analysis. Harry Potter, on the other hand, especially movies 3 through 7, take themselves really seriously and are a bit darker, and that lends itself to a lot of really emotional moments that you just wouldn't see in Marvel. Some examples are Harry being possessed by Voldemort at the end of the fifth movie, after he's just lost his uncle and basically had a small emotional breakdown after that, and just used one of the unforgivable curses on Bellatrix. He has this super touching scene where he has to realize for himself why it's important that he fight back, and why it's important and why he's different from Voldemort. It's a truly better scene than anything in the Marvel franchise because it's deep and emotionally touching in a way that you're just not going to get in Marvel. Another example is, the deaths of basically any major character, which happens in every movie between 4 and 7. In 4, you get Cedric Diggory dying, and even though he wasn't, introduced earlier and isn't a huge character, his death marks a pivotal moment in the franchise where Voldemort comes back and kind of there's a dark cloud looming over the universe, and Harry basically suffers from PTSD from that death for the rest of the franchise. It's kind of the moment where everyone realizes that Voldemort's back and he can kill people. You never really get that fear of death in Marvel movies, and even in Infinity War and Endgame, where they kind of attempt that kind of PTSD depression thing with Thor, it just doesn't resonate as well because it feels counter to the tone that every movie beforehand is set. And those scenes, those really great emotional touching scenes, Dumbledore's death, Harry's possession, Diggory's death, Harry and Hermione dancing in 7 Part 1 are really the second reason why Harry Potter movies are better than Marvel movies. You're never going to get moments as pure and great as those in movies that are essentially comedies that don't have these kind of movie magic type of moments where between characters you get spectacle, but a lot of the time that doesn't really add to the quality of the film. In Harry Potter, you get these kind of deep moments in between characters that really give the movies a sense of emotional depth, which is really necessary when you're not going to get any sort of other deep themes in these movies. These are meant to be very emotional movies, and having a kind of taking yourself seriously and giving yourself a darker tone and allowing yourself to kind of analyze the characters and relationships kind of allows that level of depth. And that's basically it. I mean, I just wanted to go through those two reasons, and this has really been just why I think that Harry Potter is better than Marvel. I mean, there are a lot of other reasons I would say, but those are the two main reasons. Now I guess this is the time that I would ask you guys to like and subscribe. I don't want to make this too corny, so if you like the video, then like and subscribe, I guess. Other than that, I'll see you guys later.